Okay, so to import your Blender cell fracture into iClone to use its physics, if it's all going to be rigid objects, you can just export the objects independently and have them explode. So I've got my cube here, and I'm going to add my cell fracture to it. So I will go ahead and let's see, that is under quick effects. You have to enable this cell fracture. It's included in Blender. You have to go in the add-ons and turn it on. Okay, so I'm going my cell fracture here, and the only thing I'm going to do is increase the noise a little bit, so I don't have just the cube divided into smaller cubes. So for the noise, I'll say, oh, I don't know, zero point 0.7 or something. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now it's broken up my cube. And I don't need the parent cube anymore. I only want the fractured bits. So there, I've got the parent cube selected, and I'm just going to delete that because I don't need it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to export. And so I'm going to export it as an OBJ. And the important thing here is to um, make sure that you check the object groups at the grouping section. That will make each piece separate. And then I will go ahead and save it over my existing one. I have an existing one somewhere here. Here it is, frac00. And so I'll just save over that. Um, one other thing you might want to do actually is when you do that, you might want to set the scale because one, if it's set to one, it's probably, if you use the default cube, it's going to be really, really tiny. So go ahead and set that to 100. Um, general rule of thumb on that. Things coming out of Blender tend to be tiny. And then I will go ahead and export. Okay, so now I'm going to jump over to iClone. And I've added a physics floor to my scene so I can, drop stuff on it, the infinite plane. And I will go ahead and import. I'm going to find that model, the frac00. And because I selected in the object groupings, I told them to, be separate. It's going to tell me it contains 8 meshes. And do I want to break them up? And in this case, yes, I do. Okay, so now I have my model. And let me pull it up in the air a little bit. I'm going to set it right here on the surface. And so now you can see the cracks in it that's going to divide. What I'm going to do is in the scene manager, I'm going to unroll it because I need to select each one of these. You can just select all of them, go over to your physics tab, click on activate physics, and come down to the bound type and set it to convex hull or self mesh. Convex hull is generally fine because all the little bits that come out of the fracture modifier are generally convex. So I'm just going to go with that. And the collision margin, I always set it to 0.01. So I just type in a 0 and hit return and put it at the smallest size. And basically that will keep it from, it's like 1 millimeter. That will keep it from, showing gaps between the edges. Okay, so now um, what I can do is if I hit play, it's probably not going to do much. Well, you can see it's sliding apart because friction is, there's no friction right now or anything. But you get the idea that it can come apart. So now if you want it to explode, um, what you can do is set the collision margin up really, really high. Let's say 20. And as long as you don't have the friction or the damping up really high when you play it, you should get it to blow apart. And so if you need it to blow apart faster, um, well, you can increase that a bit so it gets a little more push. And you can also adjust the settings here to work better. You might want to add a little more damping, for instance. Okay, so you give the idea and you can tweak the settings further as you need to. All right, good luck.